the greatest challenge of this generation is overcoming addiction. Nowadays, we have everything at the palm of our hands. We have our phones, we have social media, we have video games, porn, TV shows. Entertainment is at arm's length everywhere. And what that means for us is it's now harder than ever to stay disciplined and stay on track with our goals. Because we always have this carrot that's dangling in front of our faces, and we have to try and avoid it, right? Which is honestly kind of hard because it's so prevalent, right? All of these cheap pleasures, they're around us all the time. And so that is the greatest challenge, is avoiding all of this. Now, in this video, what I want to do is teach you how to stay disciplined when there is all of this distraction around us. And in my own life, I'm disciplined with some things and not so disciplined with other things. So I have some trouble with this too. The one thing that I'm very, very disciplined at is regarding food. I don't think I've drank soda or have had any soft drinks for the last 15 years. That's right, 15 years. And I always avoid junk food, and I avoid candy and chocolate and other sugary things. I avoid all of that because I understand it's bad for my health. And this has been going on. This has been a part of my life ever since middle school, pretty much, right? So 15 years without soft drinks or soda or anything like that. But on the other hand, I have trouble with staying off social media or YouTube, or kind of wasting my time scrolling through YouTube, right? So the idea for this video came about when I tried to figure out what is it that I do with food that makes me so incredibly disciplined, and why is it that I can't apply the same discipline to other areas of my life where I need it? And so that's kind of the purpose of this video, was me exploring that question and me coming up with answers for how I can translate my discipline with food to other areas of my life. And in this video, I'm going to share my discoveries with you so that hopefully they're going to benefit you as well. Now, the first thing I want to get to is I want to show you exactly what discipline should feel like, what it should feel like, what the end result should be like. And discipline is supposed to be effortless. It's supposed to be easy, which is contrary to popular belief, because popular belief is that you're supposed to muster all your willpower to fight off all your bad habits and to stave away your cravings. And it's supposed to be this really hard exercise of your willpower, which is completely the opposite. It's the opposite of what it's supposed to be. And this is from my experience with my own experience with being disciplined. When I avoid soda or I avoid other junk foods, I don't have to fight myself constantly. I don't crave these things. I don't have to fight off any addictions with these things. And so it comes effortlessly, which makes sense. You can't stay disciplined with something for years and years and years on end if you have to fight yourself every single day. if you have to like slap yourself on the hand and really use your willpower to like fight through your bad habits, right? It just can't work. You can't, that's not a long-term solution, and it's not supposed to be that way, right? Discipline is supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be effortless. Now the challenge is, how do we get to that place? How do we get to that place? And so this is where the first concept is going to come in. I'm going to teach you exactly how to do that. So the first concept I want to talk to you about is awareness. Awareness of your actions. Now this is the first step toward being disciplined. Because if you're not aware of your actions, then you can't control your actions. See, awareness gives you the power of choice. It allows you to control your actions. So, for example, let's say you come back home from work and you're super tired. It was a long day at work. And all you want to do is sit on the couch and relax. You get your remote control, turn on the TV, watch TV for a couple of hours. And you do this every single day. You come back home, sit on the couch, turn on the TV, relax after a long day of hard work, right? And there, in that scenario, you're not really aware of what you're doing. You're running on autopilot, you see. In that scenario, there's no real choice that you made. You didn't consciously choose to sit down and watch the TV, so to speak. You were relying on kind of your reptilian brain to guide you in life, so that you just do whatever's the easiest in life and whatever is habitual to you. And so there's no awareness there. Even if you wanted to, even if you didn't want to waste your time like that anymore, what might happen is you come back home and habits start to take over. You're on autopilot. You turn on the TV. Before you know it, 2 hours is over. So let's rewind that scenario back and show you how applying awareness in that situation would look. So let's say, right, you're tired after coming back home from work and you want to sit down on the couch, relax for a bit. You see the remote control, but this time you think, do I want to turn on the TV and watch TV? You know, I said to myself that I wasn't going to do this, right? I told myself yesterday that I didn't want to repeat this pattern anymore. Do I want to do this? And you see what's happening there is there's a space of awareness. There you have conscious control over whether you want to continue on with the action or not. And I challenge you to do this, right? With whatever habit or whatever thing you want to be disciplined on, I challenge you to do this. Use this phrase. Say, I choose to blank, right? Whatever that thing is for you. So in the moment, right as you're about to do that thing that you wanted to avoid, you say, I choose to either, continuing on watching TV, or you can say, I choose to not watch TV, right? So now, just because you're aware of your actions doesn't mean that you'll choose the right action, right? It just means that you have conscious awareness of what you're doing now, and you're at least not running on autopilot. And so that's what that phrase is going to help you to do. Now, next time, if you don't use that phrase, then that means you didn't consciously choose to succumb to your bad habit. You didn't consciously choose to do it. You did it on autopilot. So that phrase, I challenge you to use that phrase, right? If you don't use it, then that means you're running on autopilot. Now again, if just because you're aware of all your actions now, of all your bad habits, of when you want to do perform your bad habits. Just because you're aware doesn't mean that you'll choose to do the right thing. That's a completely separate matter. But this next concept is going to help you to actually do the right thing, right? Once you become aware, this next concept is going to help you do the right thing. So, next concept is having a powerful, positive vision for yourself. This is essentially, this is your reason to be disciplined, right? Whatever thing you wanna stay disciplined on, this is going to be your main reason for why you want to stay disciplined, right? So a positive vision for yourself, that's basically a worthwhile goal. That's a worthwhile goal, and it's something that's tangible. It's something specific and tangible, and a powerful vision for yourself. This is something that you create, right? This is like your North Star. You're trying to get from point A to point B. And so, for example, if I wanted to avoid eating junk food, my positive vision would be being a healthy person, wanting to live to old age while keeping my health. Right? That's my North Star. That's what kept me off of soda and soft drinks for 15 plus years, and it will keep me from those unhealthy foods or drinks for years down the line. So that's what I mean when I say it's a powerful, positive vision, right? And it's also, the reason I use the word powerful there is because it needs to be powerful enough so that it becomes a part of your identity. That's what I mean by powerful. It becomes a part of who you are fundamentally. So it's not enough to just say, yeah, I want to be healthy. So yeah, I'm going to be healthy from now on. That's my positive vision. And expect that to help you stay away from unhealthy foods, right? Realistically, it has to be deeply ingrained in your subconscious and become a part of your identity. And so that's why I use the word powerful there, which I'll get into later in this video, how to actually program your subconscious mind with this positive vision. But let's keep going here. So the reason that you need a positive vision instead of focusing on the negative consequences of your bad habit, the reason that this is because focusing on the negative consequence is only a short-term solution. And this is contrary to popular belief, right? So when we try to avoid bad habits, what do? We normally say to ourselves, oh, this thing is bad because of X, Y, and Z, and so I want to avoid it, right? We tend to want to avoid negative consequences. So for me, if I'm trying to stay away from procrastinating on YouTube, for example, I might say, well, watching YouTube, it wastes all my time, and I could be doing other productive things with that time, and so I want to avoid this negative trap, right? Or with junk food, you might say, this stuff makes me overweight. I don't like how I feel when I eat this stuff, and yeah, I want to avoid this junk food. It doesn't make me feel good, right? So that's kind of that's the typical thing that people do. But the reason that that's not so helpful is because it's not a long-term solution, and you can actually see you can experience this in your own life, right? You can kind of look at it from your own lens and think about when you want to avoid your bad habits and you focus on the negative consequences, does that actually help you avoid your bad habits? Most of the time, no. And like, you already know why your bad habits are bad. That's why you label them bad. But that doesn't mean that you're able to stay off of the bad habit, right? So that's just, you can see that with your own experience. And it's also not a long-term solution. Focusing on the negative consequences of something is not a long-term solution, because you might replace that bad habit with something else, right? So going back to the positive vision, you have point A, you're trying to get away from this bad habit to get to point B, your positive vision, right? So you have to leave point A to get to point B. And discipline is kind of like a byproduct of just you trying to get to your positive vision, right? But focusing on the negative consequences of something, that's like you trying to leave point A, but you're not really going anywhere. You're just meandering around. You don't have a goal that you set for yourself. And you might just end up at another spot that you're not so happy with, right? So it's true, you left point A, but you went somewhere else, and maybe you replaced point A with some other bad habit that's essentially the same as where you started, right? So, and another reason that focusing on the negative consequence of something as a motivator doesn't work is because that motivation dries out. It runs out. For example, if I'm trying to lose weight and I look in the mirror and it pains me to see myself overweight in the mirror, and that's my motivation for wanting to lose weight. Well, what's going to happen is once I do get to a good weight, that pain's going to be gone. But along with it goes my motivation, because the pain was my motivation. But once I get to a good body weight that I'm happy with, the motivation is gone because there's no more pain, right? So what's going to happen is I might look in the mirror one day and go, I look pretty good. I think I can let myself go a little bit. I haven't eaten cake in a while. Let's eat some cake and enjoy my victory. I'm like, I'm looking good now. I can afford to eat cake. Let's do it. And that's the trap, right? What I want from you guys is not this short-term solution where you avoided the bad habit for like 2 weeks, but then on week 3 you go back to the bad habit because you slipped, right? You focused on the negative consequence instead of the positive vision you want for yourself. Now, I'm not saying you can't like focus on the negative consequence. I'm just saying that that's not the only thing that should be motivating you, right? If that's the only thing motivating you, it's not going to get you anywhere. You, at minimum, need that positive vision for yourself, because that's how you're going to go from point A to point B. So having that positive vision gives you perpetual motivation. It gives you motivation forever, for as long as you keep this positive vision for yourself. And discipline at that point becomes a byproduct of just you working toward your positive vision. So if my positive vision is to be a healthy person and to be a healthy person into old age, what's going to happen is, and it has to be a strong positive vision, but once I have that, what's going to happen is any foods that are not in line with that vision, I can like cut through all the BS, right? I can cut through all the BS. if I see something that's not good for me, but I know tastes good, it's very easy for me to say no to that. Even though I know it tastes good, I have no problem saying no to that thing because it's not in line with the vision. Right? So that's when discipline becomes effortless, like I was talking about. Is you're so focused on this positive goal for yourself. You're so focused on it, and this positive goal is so much more important to you than any temporary pleasure you can get from exhibiting your bad habits, that it becomes so easy to cut through the BS, right? Now, awareness plus a strong positive vision. Those are the two things that I learned about my discipline with food. Those are the two things that I do that has enabled me to go without soda or soft drinks for the past 15 years. And so the idea here is I'm gonna apply these concepts to other areas of my life. Now that I know exactly what I'm doing to be disciplined in this area of my life, I'm gonna apply that to other areas of my life. And I want you to apply it to your life as well, so that you can see the same results. But I don't want you to leave this video and have these concepts in your head but not know how to apply them. Because what I talked about, awareness plus positive vision, these things are just concepts. They're not, I haven't talked about how to practically apply them yet. So here's just a short, brief little section of the video where I teach you how to actually apply these concepts to your life. Okay, so the first thing we talked about was awareness. You need to be aware of your actions before you have any control of them. And I already talked about, the test for whether you're aware or not is to use that phrase. I choose to blank, right? Whatever it is, whether you choose the right thing or the wrong thing. If you use that, if you're able to, if you have the wherewithal to use that phrase, then you know that you're aware. But sometimes it's hard to get to that place. You might not be able to do that. Maybe it turns out that it's actually quite hard for you to do that. Now, here are some tips for how to increase your awareness, okay? If that's hard for you. So, one thing you could do is practice being present, like mindfulness practices. Now, there's a bunch of videos that you can look up and a bunch of things you can read to teach you how to do that. But in essence, mindfulness is just paying attention to the present and practicing that. What are you hearing right now? What's your body feeling? What are you seeing right now? Right? What are you smelling? Anything that's in the present. And you'd be surprised, this is not a natural thing to do. This takes practice because, how often do you walk down the street and pay attention to the sounds of your footstep? Probably not that often, right? So it sounds kind of simple, like, okay, yeah, just pay attention to the present. But this is something that's not typically done by most people. And cultivating this skill, it's a skill, is going to help you become more aware. It's going to help you become more aware of your bad habits when they come up. And the other thing you can do is you can actually start a log of all the times that you fell for your bad habit, that you weren't able to stay disciplined. And you can ask yourself questions like, what environment was I in, right? Or like, what time was it when I fell for this bad habit? What mood was I in? What location was I in? And what were the circumstances of that situation that led me to the bad habit? So you can ask yourself these types of questions, just the facts of what happened. And you can develop a log of this, right? So every time you succumb to your bad habit, you can, and maybe like in the middle of your bad habit, you become aware, like, oh shoot, I fell for this thing again. Or maybe you only become aware of it 2 hours after you did the bad habit, right? Whatever is the case, hopefully you'll realize at some point that, oh shoot, I did the thing again, right? So that's when you can write down those questions and kind of think about, okay, so what was it that led me to doing the thing? You can write down these kind of journal entries, so to speak, of the facts of what happened, right? What environment were you in, etc. And once you have a good list of a log going, you can actually start to identify some patterns, right? Maybe you're like, oh yeah, I do this thing every time I come back home from work, or I seem to do this bad habit whenever I'm feeling sad, right? So eventually you start to see a pattern, and this is going to help you to become more aware next time, because next time you might be like, oh, the trigger for this bad habit is like happening right now, and that's why I'm feeling the craving for this thing. And then now you're aware. You can go, okay, now I choose to whatever. Now you do the right thing or the wrong thing, I don't know, but at least now you're aware. So the next concept we talked about was having a powerful positive vision, right? And why that's so important, and why that's necessary, in addition to just focusing on the negative consequences of your bad habit, right? So in order to create a powerful positive vision for yourself, you're going to need to program it into your subconscious mind, okay? It's not enough to just say out loud once that, oh yeah, I like, if I'm trying to lose weight, it's not just enough to say, oh yeah, I want to be a healthy, thin person. Yeah, I want that. And then you say that and you just forget about it, right? That's not what we want. To have a powerful positive vision, it needs to be seared into your mind. It needs to be like at the top of your mind at all times. And it needs to become your identity, right? It needs to become a powerful motivating factor in your life. And the way you're gonna do this is you're gonna program your subconscious mind. There's a couple of ways to do this. You can either use affirmations or visualization. Okay, those are two popular methods. Affirmation is just saying to yourself what your positive vision is. So if I wanted to be a healthy person, and that's my positive vision, like I can just say to myself, I love being healthy, I love being healthy, I love being healthy, I love being healthy. And you do that for 5 minutes every single day. I don't know, for the next 2 or 3 months, right? Then it's really gonna plant that seed into your subconscious. The other thing is visualization. And it's a similar concept here, except it's now with images instead of words. So what you're going to do is you can think about what it looks like to be a healthy person. What kind of foods are you going to eat? What kind of habits does a healthy person exhibit? And do the same thing. You can do the same thing. Visualize 5 minutes every day of what your positive vision looks like. And these seem like kind of like unassuming ideas. Like, really, like, is this really that important to do? And yeah, it's super, super important. It's very important. This is how you're gonna sear that positive vision into your as a part of your identity. This is how you're gonna do that. And anecdotally, I'll just say that this stuff works. I had trouble, being a confident person before. That wasn't something that was very natural to me. I kind of, in every social interaction, I kind of questioned myself. I kind of was not sure how to behave, right? How to, like, what I was supposed to say, what I was supposed to do, right? But I used this affirmation. I said this to myself for 2 months straight. I said, I love being confident. I love being confident. I love being confident. I love being confident. I did this every single day. And it had a huge impact on my confidence level. So I know for a fact that this stuff works, and it can change your identity. So that's why it's very important, for you to implement this into your life. Now I can't tell you what your positive vision should be, but you have to figure that out for yourself. What positive vision do you need for you to be able to stay away from your bad habit? What positive vision do you need so that you become a disciplined person? And whatever that is, you program it into your subconscious mind. Now, I want to just say these ideas for programming the subconscious mind, they came from this book called Cybernetics. So it's called Cybernetics. And yeah, the ideas in this book are amazing. You should read this book. But that kind of concludes the video, okay? Awareness plus a positive vision. Awareness to give you the power of choice, and a positive vision so that you make the right choice. So at the beginning of the video, I said that discipline is supposed to be effortless. It's supposed to be easy. You're not supposed to have to fight yourself. Now, I'll just say that in the beginning, it is going to be a little bit harder, right? Because you're essentially developing a new habit, and it's always harder at the beginning. But see, the longer you do this, the longer you apply these concepts that I taught you in this video, the longer you're going to be able to stay disciplined, and the more it's going to become a part of your identity to be a disciplined person, right? Whatever that means for you, like whatever bad habit or action you wanted to avoid in your life, the more you apply these concepts, the more that it's going to be a part of your identity, and then it's going to be super, super easy and effortless, because it'll be a part of your identity. And that's what's going to enable you to stay disciplined on something for 15 plus years. So these ideas in this video are really just to jumpstart your journey, and I hope it makes the journey a little easier. Now, I want to end with you and end the video with this, that this is really a long-term thing. Okay, you're not it's not like you're going to be disciplined overnight, right? Whatever it is that you want to be disciplined on, or whoever you want to become, it's not going to happen overnight. But if you apply the concepts in this video daily, and you're very studious about applying these concepts, there's a good chance that you're going to get there. Okay, now that's it for the video. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, share it with others if the video helped you, and stay tuned, because more videos are going to come. And yeah, so stay with me on this journey to be disciplined, and I'll see you guys next time.